Hello, folks. It was a yabba-dabba-doo weekend, or not. Strategic brilliance at its best. No other words to describe what we saw. No one would have even thought that George Russell would be winning the Belgian GP even in their dreams. It just came out of nowhere, and all kudos to the Mercedes strategist. Not being the fastest car on the grid still 1 and 2 is marvelous. Amazing and just amazing. But all this celebration comes to a stop with Russell being DNF for underweight car by the stewards. Feeling disappointed on behalf of Mercedes, but still appreciating all their hard work. Yet again, strategical blunder by Mclaren couldn't maximize its performance being the second fastest car on the grid. Ferrari's taking baby steps. Let's dive in deep and evaluate what went where throughout the race with each our 10 teams on the grid. Beginning with best of the rest, Aston Martin. Although there was not much to see from both the drivers on the performance level, they were just doing what they were supposed to do. Alonso started at P9, finished at P8 post-Russell's disqualification. Pit stop strategy favored a bit with Lance such that he finished P11 when he started at P15. With 3 position jumps, there was no pace and no effort much to bring both the drivers in top 10. Kick Sauber. Zhou had to retire early in the race with power failure in his car. Valtteri Bottas finished P15 when he started P14. Those upgrades didn't work much for them, and they go on to continue their streak of not earning any points so far. Not much words for Haas. No improvement even with new upgrades. The pace they showed during the early few races of this season is just lost and not be found again. High downforce setup didn't work for them. We are waiting with heavy breath to see them back racing for points post-summer break. Yuki, from Visa Cash RB, started at end of the grid due to complete power unit change. He got 60 places grid penalty. Of course, with that much grid penalty, he would have started from Germany. Jokes apart, he started reasonably at the end of the grid. Nothing major performance-wise, even with upgrades and new power unit. Both drivers finished P10 and P16. Alpine's Deadpool and Wolverine promoted livery gave the team a power boost, which we could see during the race. That skinny rear wing was doing much. Impressive overtakes and pit stop strategy helped them gain points again for the team, with Esteban Ocon finishing P9. Gasly ending at P13. Now let's talk about the frontrunners, and mostly the winning team or winning team driver. Race was all in all marvelous, but it took a drastic turn for Mercedes, hindering their celebratory victory to disappointment after the race. After the race, it was speculated that the car driven by George Russell was underweight after the race as compared to the standard weightage required. The minimum weight of the car should be 798 kilograms. However, his car weighed 796.5 kilograms. Just 1.5 kilograms screwed his race win. Upon confirming, the Belgian GP winner was eventually disqualified on this ground, making Lewis Hamilton the winner and Russell ending with 0 points. If we just focus on the race, then the Mercedes team did an amazing job throughout the weekend and on race day, with Russell's race strategy at the end on sticking to one-stop race. It was gamble well played by the team. If the gamble hadn't worked, Russell would still have finished at P5 at position from which he started the race. So, it would have been a no-gain, no-loss finish. When it comes to Lewis, it shows what a 7-time world champion has. The pace, with the way he overtook Charles on initial laps and kept hold on his position against Perez, was just brilliant piece of work. He gave his everything until the end. Russell's one-stop strategy came as a surprise to Hamilton at the end of the race, which was clearly visible with his words at the post-race interviews. Congratulations to Lewis for his race win and 201 podium. It was well-deserved. Let's not forget that Mercedes brought heavy upgrades to Belgium GP. However, they didn't turn his team expected it to be. George encountered bouncing in FP1 session, same as Ferrari drivers experienced post-upgrades brought at Barcelona. Mercedes quickly ripped all of the upgrades brought, and we saw their performance post removing the upgrades. It has become a habit of Mclaren now to ruin their easily winnable races by utter rubbish and sabotageable strategies. Couldn't believe that they couldn't put in thought in undercutting the opponent and waited for few laps to pit. Mclaren by no chance is a new team. This team has been in Formula One for decades and has won championships. We expect more when you have 2 of the best drivers with you and the fastest car on the grid. Oscar, as usual, has given his best throughout the race. Excellent overtakes and steady pace. Given few more laps, he would have been able to overtake both Lewis and George for another win. Nonetheless, it was a great show. Lando. He definitely needs to work on his race starts. Man, it is consecutive few races where he has lost positions at the start itself. How is he going to compete for championship against Max with such damaging errors? Have you ever seen Lewis and Max make such stupid errors? They have what it needs to be a world champion. To compete against them, you need to reach that level. Ferrari, I have lost my hope for this team to even bounce back in the championship fight. Car has no pace and team has no strategy, although it is not new. We have been seeing their multiple place A to Z strategies failing miserable in a time of need. So same happened in this Belgian GP as well. Pit stop strategy ruined Carlos's race. He has a similar mind of action for one pit stop strategy where he could have gained few more points for the team with a better position at the end. But no, the plan B of Ferrari had to go and ruin that. And Charles couldn't keep his position due to his lack of pace as compared to the opponent. Let's see what post-summer break brings for Ferrari. Let's talk about our reigning champions, who may not be reigning anymore after few races. Their dominance is shaky at the moment against the onslaught of McLarens and Mercedes. We all could clearly see this in the Belgian Grand Prix. Everyone was expecting the repeat of 2023 Belgian GP, with Max starting from P11 and finishing at P1 with swooping overtakes, but that was not what we saw. McLaren and Mercedes stood as blockers against that dream of Max. Without a doubt, they were well prepared with their track-specific upgrades such as the spoon rear wing and sleek front wing. Weather conditions did play a role in their high downforce setup, although it did work in quali because of wet conditions, and same did not work on the race day due to dry conditions. All in all, Red Bull dominance is stumbling, and with the biggest question mark of Sergio's position in the team. He started the race at P2 and ended the race at P7. Post-summer break, Red Bull has some tough decisions to take if they want to win this season. That's all for now, folks. We have hit the mid-season mark of Formula 1 2024 championship with the upcoming summer break. Yes, there would be no races for the next 3 weeks, but it does not mean that we would not be bringing in regular updates for you guys. So, stay tuned for more exciting and thrilling updates on Formula 1. So, stay connected. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.